Hi, everyone. This time, top 50 American bands of all time. And this just came out in late December 2023. And I'm curious if some of my favorite American bands will even make this list. I don't know. One would be Grand Funk Railroad. Another would be Blue Oyster Cult. The Velvet Underground, and Sparks. Although, the last few years, they started out as a band, but in the last few years, it's kind of like almost like a duo. But I guess you could still consider Sparks a band because when they tour, they have a band with them, a great band. So here we go. I'll just let you know which bands I like and which bands I don't. And here we go. Yeah, Foo Fighters at number 50. Yeah, I respect them as a band. I don't think I'd ever buy any of their albums, but they certainly do sell out their concerts. So I can see them being on the list. Decent start. The Flaming Lips. Yeah, I like them. At number 49. Yeah, Captain Beefheart, I think as a solo artist, even though it's usually Captain Beefheart and his Magic Band or the Magic Band. But it's nice to see them on the list. I love Captain Beefheart. Stone Temple Pilots, I never got into that band. Red Hot Chili Peppers, another very popular American band. Once again, I respect them as a band. They're great musicians and everything, but just I've never had the urge to buy any of their music. Same with Bon Jovi. I'm not a fan of Bon Jovi at all. Probably one of my least favorite popular bands. The Pixies, I like them. Uh, I've only heard Doolittle, which I think is a great album, but yeah, I can see them being on the list. Jefferson Airplane, not Jefferson Starship. Yeah, one of my favorite 60s albums is Volunteers by Jefferson Airplane. Boston, of course, the great debut album, one of the biggest selling debut albums ever. I even bought it back in the day. But other than that, I guess they probably did make some other decent albums, but I only bought their first one. Journey, yeah, I bought, before they went in a more commercial vein. Their first couple of albums, or first three, were more progressive jazz, rock. They're pretty interesting. But I never was a fan of the more commercial aspect of the band. Cheap Trick, yep, great American band. My favorite album of theirs is their debut. The Doobie Brothers, yep. They, once again, they kind of changed their sound when Michael McDonald joined and got even more commercial, but still, overall, definitely a great band. Blondie, yes. Yeah, once again, comparable to Captain Beefheart. I kind of think is Frank Zappa as a solo artist, but it did start out as a band, the Mothers of Invention. So great to see them on the list. I even love the Flo and Eddie years that some fans don't care for. Well, no comment. No, not one of my favorite bands. Number 35, Santana. Once again, through the years, kind of went more commercial, but their first few albums are really, really good. Pearl Jam, yeah, I like Pearl Jam. No Code, Vitalogy, a couple more. I don't love everything they've done, but a very good band. Chicago, once again, it's the early years that I really like. I didn't know that Daryl Hall and John Oates were a band. Yeah. A bit odd to have them on the list. 50 American bands, but... And they're not getting along too well these days. Sadly. The Temptations. Yeah. Cloud 9, Ball of Confusion, Papa Was a Rolling Stone. Heart. I liked very early Heart, and then once again, they just went... They were more of a singles act later on, and I didn't really... I stopped buying their album. I think the last one I bought was Dog and Butterfly, which was a very good album. Booker T and the MGs. The Stooges with Iggy Pop. What a bunch of nice-looking guys. Yay, the Velvet Underground, one of my bands, made the list. I have a feeling Grand Funk and Blue Oyster Cult aren't on this list. Yeah, the Velvet Underground, big fan. Parliament Funkadelic. I've never owned any of their albums, but interesting. Yeah, once again, not a big fan of Kiss, although I did buy their first album when it came out. Alice Cooper just did a video on this channel a couple days ago on $1 Billion Babies, the remastered CD. Great band. I never really did follow Alice Cooper's solo career that much. Just wasn't interested in it. Soundgarden. Never really got into them. Grateful Dead. Not really a fan, but I can see them being on the list. The Cars, yeah. Lots of great music. Top 20. Lynyrd Skynyrd. Once again, I respect them. I like their music, but I've just, never did buy any of their albums. And the Byrds, same thing. Yeah, ZZ Top. Lots of great music. Well, I guess they have to be on the list. I've just never been a fan of Guns N' Roses. Once again, Metallica. I respect them, and just not a big fan of their music. The Ramones. Actually, I think it's not the Ramones. I think it's Ramones. But nice to see them on the list. I remember buying their debut album when it came out and loving it right away. Nirvana, of course. The Allman Brothers Band. Yeah, Sly and the Family Stone. Love them. Steely Dan. Yeah. Once again, just a band kind of similar to the Eagles. Like lots of great songs, but I don't know. Just doesn't do it for me. And now here is the top 10. I didn't know that Simon and Garfunkel were a band. I mean, of course, they're one of the greats, but I don't know why it would be under 50 American bands. Kind of a little strange, but it could be worse. Yeah, not a big fan of the Eagles, but obviously great songwriters, and I really do like Joe Walsh, of course. Number 8, REM. My favorite album of theirs is Automatic for the People. Talking Heads, love Talking Heads. Fear of Music is my favorite. The Doors, yeah. Yeah, they would be in my top 10 for sure. American bands. And Aerosmith wouldn't. Although, I love early Aerosmith, and my favorite from the early years is Toys in the Attic. All right, number 4. Yes, Creedence Clearwater Revival. They would be in my top 10 also. And near the top. So who's missing? Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. They have to be on there. And no Grand Funk or Blue Oyster Cult or Sparks. Here we go, number 3. Yeah, Van Halen. Yeah. I love their debut album, but other than that, I didn't have much interest in them. Number 2. Yeah, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. So who would be number 1? Who's missing? I know, Grand Funk Railroad. Oh, here we go. Ah, the Beach Boys. Yeah. Yeah, I love Pet Sounds. It took me years and years. I always really liked it, but I guess, in the past year or so, it's like I love the album now. And also, Friends is a great album. And, all of their 60s songs. So, yeah, number 1, the Beach Boys. So, overall, like I said, Grand Funk should be on the list, and Blue Oyster Cult and Sparks. But Simon and Garfunkel. I don't know about that one. Yeah, there's a couple of head scratchers, but overall, not a terrible list. So, yeah, I'd love your thoughts in the comment section below, and please remember to like the video and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.